Today we're going to talk about your internal masculine, the four developmental stages and different archetypes that complement each one of these stages. So I recommend that you pick up this book, King, Magician, Warrior, Lover, as it presents the positive and negative traits of these different masculine personalities that you may not be too familiar with. Now, as we begin to weave in your feminine ego, which complements your instincts, your nature, okay, what makes you a woman, and the logos of the masculine, you begin to create a matrix that is fruitful in religious experience, in a healthy sexuality. It is abundant for creative energy. So today we're going to look at this because you, as a woman, have got to begin to differentiate from everything in the collective ideals and beliefs to be in your own right, to stand on your own 2 feet, and to know who you are at your core. Okay, so let's get into these developmental stages. The first one that you will experience, the internal primal man. This is at the most basic level because he manifests in your dreams and your dreams and fantasy as this like macho man who's trying to save you in your sleepiness, and he's kind of captivating you by his strength. Well, him being the symbol of physical strength, vitality, he is representing how you can take care of yourself, how you can nurture yourself, how you can ground into your needs and feel yourself with something that is long term. It's not a temporal fix, a temporal fulfillment, which is a lot of the times what women will do in this stage, is if they don't feel connected to that primal man and she's dreaming of him. Well, you have 2 instances. One is an inflated woman who's trying to conform to society to such an extent that she will contort her natural features to appease what she thinks is, a man who's going to love her back, the superhero man who's going to, save her. That's really not the case. And on the other hand, we have the woman who kind of still does the same thing, but it's a little bit more of a heavier energy that she carries, where she wants to rebel against the masculine. Although he's trying to save her, she's pushing away. I don't want you to save me. So in that rebellion, she wants to consume him. So the energies are a little different for everyone. You may experience both of them at different times in your life, but this is essentially trying to represent energies that you have to pull in for yourself. So for the first stage, this being the primal man, like the biological man, he is a representation of the physical force, which for you, the developmental task in this stage is to stand firm and feed yourself the right energetic nourishment, not the fake stuff, the real stuff, spending time outside, eating healthy food, taking care of your feminine needs. For God's sake, please do this for yourself, because you are a role model for the generations to come. Okay? Now, in the second stage, we are looking at the man of action. This is experienced in your dreams and fantasies as the warrior and the lover. Now, if you have done your integration from the previous phase, you will likely have a reservoir of phallic energy, which is a huge charge from that primal state. And it's now kind of moving up into your emotions, where you are experiencing a will in life to act. fight. So this masculine will literally appear as a warrior who's trying to just take you, and you guys have to go on this mission together. I remember I dreamt when I started inner work of the warrior who gave me, like, I think it was a sword. He gave me some kind of weapon, and he pulled me up from the ground. He said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Let's go." Rah! And like we started running down this field towards a huge castle, and I was fighting for my emotions. I was fighting for my right. And this is a stage which can be so like fruitful for you as long as it's not destructive, and it's taking you to a place where you might be that woman in midlife who is wanting to get the divorce. You end up, I'm just going to be real, you file for divorce, you put your family in a visitation center, you make your kids go through hell because you just want out, you want your freedom. You have this emotion that's saying, I have to do it. I get that. I totally get it. However, who is in the field that you are hurting? Okay, be mindful of this. So this force can be so great and powerful, and it can support you. However, it can also be so destructive and try to destroy you. So you have the warrior who's trying to support you emotionally, but you also have the lover who's trying to nurture you. You may, he may appear in your dreams sitting in a field, stroking your hair, and you're just loving how much he can show you what it means to have self-love, what it means to support yourself. So, some of the negative aspects that he can carry, this Animus figure, is he can be a bully, or he can try to seduce you into darker actions. You may physically build up body armor and manifest what the warrior has as a physical feature. And in this, it's like a suppression of your emotions, a fear of what it's like to actually feel them, because you're trying to just get something that you want done, but in that process, it's like building armor on you. Okay, so like it's just so complex, right? You're kind of getting a sense while I talk to you of like, oh, where are we going with all of this? Well, it's pretty heavy, and that's why we have to look at the masculine and differentiate. So during this stage 2, the man of action, the developmental task is to refocus your emotions, anchor them down, create a life that you want, but be mindful. Be mindful of how you go about this. Okay, yes, honor what you feel, but come on, like, let's be mature about the way that we need to fulfill the actions that we want to take in life. Okay, put it towards something that is fruitful, please. In stage 3, we are working with a man of word, and this is right now what I'm working on with you as I try and express and articulate some very complex topics. To be honest, it's painful. It's very painful. I spent so much time putting this together, and who knows who's going to see this, but I am practicing something that is very inferior to me. So this undeveloped masculine, it's not easy to work with at all times. But during this stage, the man of word, it's kind of like we're moving up the chakra system. He is now manifest through, he'll manifest in dreams and fantasies as the professor, the teacher, doctor. You may be lying with them on the floor reading a book, you may be teaching a class, you may be dissecting a frog. All of these are representations of the intellect coming through. And if you're diligently working on these energies, then you're likely in real life, something like this occupation, or you may be in school studying, just aligning to the Athena qualities. And in that, we have to be very careful because you're losing a connection again to your body to try and fulfill the psyche. But the pendulum swings, so don't be hard on yourself if you're not always in your body. Sometimes you have to be in the mind and the psyche and develop this to such a degree, to such a certain quality, that you can be in a place where you are objective and you're connecting with people through this lens. So it's not so much of an emotional action anymore, but it's an objection to rational thinking facts. And you can weave your own thought here, but your task in this is to remember that you are here to individuate. You are here to be a woman who is in your own right. So once you learn all the things that you learn, and you've gained all of this insight, guess what? It is still your task to cut away certain things that just don't align to you and your internal, like, kind of knowing. It's not really a conviction, because we have to be mindful of convictions when it comes to animus work, especially when we're so convinced something is the way it is, because that conviction may only be kind of imposed upon us. So in this stage, it is our task um, not to deny the things that we have opinions on, but to observe them, to hold them at a distance, and then to analyze them, hold the tension enough to create our own, you know, a third really comes forward, and it's through a symbol or an image in the mind and in the dream. Like this figure of the teacher will actually gift it to you, likely. You may receive a pearl or something may come forward. But if you are stuck in this and you're residing more in um, the negative animus of the word, you may be so rigid to any other thoughts coming in that you lose a sense of creativity. You lose your ability to uh, be a part of the intellectual world with the gray space, per se. So we want to be flexible and fluid at all times, and then to separate, what are we perceiving and kind of what is real, what is not real. We have to be able to differentiate. Okay, so in the last stage, stage 4, this is where Hermes comes in. This is the manifestation of a more godlike figure that can mediate between the worlds of the unconscious and the conscious. Now, this is where we see a woman who is more of a mystic, because she can quite literally see the collective unconscious, because she's done so much work on all the other stages of development with her discernment and her emotions, refining these qualities, that now at this stage, she is the medium and she can sense the nuanced, subtle energies while also working with another person's psyche without needing to interfere or impose upon. She just kind of holds it. And being in this place, aware of the unconscious and conscious realms, like, you're seeing into what could potentially happen for future sake. So this is a really fun, playful place to be, because you've refined your masculine so much, and now it's connected to your feminine ego. You're reconnecting to your lost instincts, your feminine strength. You are reconnecting to that divinity of what makes you a woman. And the marriage is now complete. So you may dream of having a baby or 2 babies. You may feel the spiral dance take place when you're simply in everyday life and you're overcome by this transcendent, like, religious feeling that moves through your body, because he is here supporting you. You guys are companions. It's not a domination anymore. It's not a possession. It is a full, like, respectful relation. Okay, so You're no longer imprisoned by your inner landscape, your dreams, images, fantasies, emotions. You meet yourself with grace and open up to the collective unconscious, unveiling truth, nature, because you have redeemed your nature. So, this is just one video of many that I will be sharing on the Animus and how to develop this. I want to address right now that we've kind of worked through the chakra system at the lower chakras, moving all the way up to the higher chakras. The animus develops in each one of these stages simply as a representation of qualities that you can embody yourself to expand more of who you are. Okay, this is our job right now, is to do this work. And what a gift. So I will see you in the next video.